Hey there. Well, he finally decided to go. um, if you've been watching my videos, you probably know what I'm talking about. If you don't know what I'm talking about, my cat Biscuit finally passed away just, I don't know, about an hour and a half ago, something like that. Um, it's been a really rough time, but I'm extremely sad. I'm still kind of in that disbelief mode at the moment. Um, I think the reality of it and everything. Oh, sorry, I just look like crap today. I'm sorry. Um, it's going to take me a minute, I think, to really wrap my head around the reality of it. Even though I've been preparing for it, I've been expecting it. I've been expecting it now for days and days, and it didn't seem like it was ever going to actually happen. It was crazy, which please go back and watch yesterday's video and the day before if you want to kind of get an idea of what all I'm talking about. Um, I was again today just thinking, is this ever going to happen? It's just been unreal. It's the most unreal thing that I've experienced in this situation because I've been through it many times in the past, but never anything quite like this. And but now at least he's finally at peace, and I'm relieved. My cat Oscar, he may start meowing a lot because he's looking around right now. He's trying to. He's confused. He's confused, and he's trying to figure out, I think, where Biscuit's at. Because now the pet tent that I had him in is not in there anymore. It was like, it was so weird. Um, I had put on a little eye makeup because I was going to make a video for this channel. I was going to sit down and make a video. And I finished and was going to put the makeup away. And something inside just had this feeling. And it was weird because right before I sat down to put on makeup, and I just put on a little eye makeup. I didn't even do it like a full makeup job or nothing. I just put a little eye makeup on. Right before I sat down, I looked. Everything was still exactly the way it's been for 3 days. 3 days of him literally looking like he had already passed but still breathing. And so I sat down, put on some eye makeup, and right when I went to go put it away, I had this feeling, and I looked in there, and I could tell that just in that few minutes he had passed. And so and then I thought, okay, well, I got to jump into, you know, that mode now because, I knew I only had a small window of time before things started to change and I needed to get things done right away. So anyway, I'm not going to go into gruesome details or anything like that, but I managed to take care of him. I've got him situated. Obviously, it's the end of the day. It's nighttime. I immediately called Jackie and told her, so she's coming to get me at 7 o'clock in the morning so that we can go and bury him. And it was like as soon as I realized that he had finally gone, my heart started pounding. It started pounding because I thought, okay, this is what I've been preparing for. It's here now, and I've got to deal with this, and I've got to take care of things right away, and I managed it. It literally, I think it took me about an hour from start to finish, getting him taken care of first, and then the cleanup, getting that pet tent out. I had to take it out and, scrub it down with bleach and soap and water and all of that. So it's outside. It may rain on it, but it doesn't really matter. But I wanted to get it all bleached and cleaned up and disinfected and all that stuff. Um, And then, obviously in there where he was, even though he was in the pet tent, I still wanted to disinfect the floor, clean the floor and disinfect it and all of that. So, and I just went. It's like, once I started, I just was like, boom, 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 jumping from one thing to the next, getting it all done and taken care of so that it was finished. And then, the next step is just going to be to bury him. And then, whew, man, it's been rough. It's been rough. And I know that the emotions are coming. I can already feel it. So I'm not going to stay on here. Hang on. Okay, sorry. I'm not going to stay on here talking because the emotions are starting to finally come now because I've been holding back my feelings and emotions all this past week, for his sake, to try to make things as easy on him as possible. And so now that that's done and everything, I can now let all that out and let it go. And it's all right, Oscar. And try to also, I got to try to calm down too because Oscar's now like confused and not understanding what's going on either. So, he probably will be up and down. He'll probably have moments where he's playing and everything's fine, and then other times where he may be, running around going, what's going on. But anyway, I'm relieved that it's finally done and that he's finally free and isn't suffering anymore. And man, wow, it's it's been crazy. So, but at least now I can hopefully, I don't know if I'll sleep well. I may not. It may take me a couple of days to get back to a decent sleeping routine just because, it's still going to be like right there. I've been in this mode for the last week of, always being on edge and, barely sleeping, always listening and waiting and, all of this. So maybe a couple of days before I really start getting into a normal sleep pattern again. But at least now I can breathe a sigh of relief that I'm at least past the worst of it. And hopefully the weather is going to be decent tomorrow. I haven't checked to see what the weather's going to be like. Today it was pouring rain at the first part of the day, and the rest of the day it was just really cloudy, but wasn't raining. But by the time he passed, it was right around 5 o'clock, which is when I was hoping he was going to do it the last couple of days that I thought he was going to do it so that I could have gone and taken care of it. By that time, it was too late for Jackie today, so I just didn't work out. So that's why he's going to have to, wait until tomorrow. But, yeah, I may not even be making a lot of sense right now because it's difficult. It is. But I got through it. I did. I'm proud of myself because this is the first time I cannot recall ever in my life dealing with something like this completely alone. And I managed to get through all of this that I've had to go through over this past week. I mean, it's so weird to think it's been a week, only a week, because in some respects it feels like it's been way longer than that, and then in other respects it feels like, God, just yesterday he was normal, But I'm telling you, that FIP, when it hits hard and fast. And I know there is treatments out there available. I know it's really readily available in America. I did research it here, and they do have a treatment for it here in Thailand, but unfortunately it's not something that the vets actually have access to at this point. It's literally something where I think you have to order the medications and the protocol or whatever it is. You have to order it from this place and then try to work with your vet to do it or something. It's very weird, and it's extremely expensive, even for here. I mean, it's like, I don't know that I could afford it because it was really expensive. And they even say there's, no guarantee it's even going to work. It may prolong their life a little bit, but it's not a proven thing yet, because FIP has just been it's been one of those things where they've just never been able to really find a cure for it. They've never found anything that really works exceptionally well, like some other illnesses that you might be able to treat. But, by the time I even found out that I had access to possibly get it sent to me, excuse me, it was way too late. I mean, it's like, it's FIP hits so hard and fast that if you don't already have something like that readily available on hand right now, like the minute you find out, it may be too late. That's how quickly this illness can just completely take down your cat. And that's what happened with Biscuit, because I literally, at the very first sign that something wasn't right with him, I took him to the vet. I mean, I noticed it in the evening. It was already nighttime when I saw that his breathing did not look right to me. It just looked a little bit off. And it was the very next morning, first thing, that I rushed him up to the vet to get him checked out. So it wasn't a matter of me waiting or putting it off or anything. I mean, I immediately took him as soon as the vet opened the next day so that I could get him checked out, and got started right away, because he said it was a lung infection. And so he was put on antibiotics and stuff, and nothing was working. I could tell that nothing was, he wasn't getting any improvement at all with the medication. So he ended up at the vet 4 different times within a week. And that last time was when he stayed overnight, hooked up to an IV. And that's when they drained all that fluid out of his lungs and stuff. And it was crazy. This last week has been crazy. I mean, first it was, let's see, which one was it first? I can't remember. I think first I took Lightning in because Lightning had a sting, or something stung him or something, and his neck was all swollen out like this, and it needed to be drained. So I first took Lightning in to get all that stuff drained out, and he was fine. That was not anything serious, thankfully. Right after that, Big V died, the rooster that I loved. He died, and it was the very same day that Big V died. That evening, I think, is when I noticed that Biscuit wasn't quite right. So it's literally been boom, 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 one thing after another, and I'm just like, please let Oscar be fine. Please don't let anything be wrong with Oscar. And I really think I'm going to go up to the vet and talk to him and let him know that, Biscuit passed, and find out, can I bring Oscar in there? Is there, because I can't remember now. I know they've got tests for a lot of things. I cannot remember if there's a test for FIP. Seems like there might be, but I'm not sure. But if there is, I want to get him tested. I want to get him checked out. I want to make sure that, there's nothing that could be possibly brewing, because FIP is contagious. He's been living in the house with Biscuit, drinking out of the same water, eating out of the same food bowls, all that stuff. Biting on each other, playing, all these things. So, I could be facing this again, and I am so not prepared. Not prepared. Not financially, not mentally, not emotionally, nothing. I'm just not ready for anything else. So I really, truly hope that Oscar's going to be okay, and that he's not going to have anything wrong, because, or Lightning either. But, Lightning, luckily, in some respects, luckily, he's outdoors most of the time. He doesn't really live here. He just kind of comes and goes when he wants. So, oh man, I'm telling you, I feel like I definitely, I, I, I feel stronger in some ways than I was before, because I had to be, being the first time that I can recall ever in my life doing any of this alone, dealing with this totally alone. I had to be strong through this, but I was, and I did it, and I made it through it, and I really don't want to go through this anytime soon again. I really don't. But anyway, I said I wasn't going to ramble long, but I think I got that nervous energy again. So it's like, I feel like I need to talk and get stuff out or whatever, but I kind of I kind of need to just take a step back for a minute and just, you know, I don't know. I mean, I was thinking that tonight I was going to make an ASMR video. I was thinking, okay, well, let's see, what can I do? Because I didn't know if I was going to go through another night of, constantly waiting and watching for him to go. And so I was trying to make plans, trying to think, what kind of video can I make and this kind of thing. But now it's like, well, I think I'll wait on that a little bit because I don't think I'm in the frame of mind to try to make an ASMR video. But, ugh. um oh, wow. Yeah, I'm a little, it's crazy, y'all. I mean, it's like I've totally been preparing myself for this, and I knew it was coming. And like I said, I am relieved in many ways, but at the same time, I'm kind of shocked because I'm not kidding. Just a little over a week ago, I would have never dreamed I would be going through this right now. There was literally nothing that gave me any indication that this was coming. Nothing. And it just still, when I think about it now, and I think, just a little over a week ago, there was a few days where Biscuit was just really clingy and was rubbing up against me all the time, was always up under my feet. He was, I mean, literally, I was tripping over him because he would not leave my side. He was glued to me. And at the time, I had no idea what that meant, but I know now that was his way of saying, I want to spend some time with you, quality time, because it's about to be gone. And I swear I believe that. I totally believe that. And I even actually read something when I was looking up, things about pets dying and stuff, trying to get a little more information about that weird situation of him over the past 3 days. It just was bizarre. Um, I was reading that a lot of times animals will, when it's about to be that time, they'll suddenly become very lovable, very clingy, things like that. They will, because they know. And I made a video. You should look at it if you haven't. Um, Animals know things. That's the title of it. Animals know things. And in that video I'm talking about this right here. They know. They know. They live by instinct, and they know things. And he knew, and he was giving his all to me while he still could. And I cherish that now. Oh my God, I cherish that so much. I'm so thankful that I got to have that. So anyway, it's been almost 20 minutes now that I didn't think I was going to talk. But thank you all so much for being here and listening through all of this. I'm hoping that my videos are going to get back to normal. I mean, obviously tomorrow I will probably talk a little bit about, finally laying him to rest and everything. But once I put that behind me, I want to get back into trying making just regular videos again, where it's not all this sad, depressing crap that people probably don't want to hear, especially starting off the new year. It's like, oh God, I feel so horrible that, it's like this new year started And all of my videos have been depressing, and I'm just really sorry about that. But for those of you that are watching and you're sticking with me anyway, I appreciate it. And thanks for the great, positive thoughts and loving messages that you've been leaving in the comments. I appreciate that so much. And, I just really appreciate you being here and listening, because when you're alone and you go through anything that's sad, it can be really difficult. So it's really nice to know that I have people out there that are listening and that care. And so thank you again. And I will definitely be back tomorrow, and hopefully I'll be feeling a little better, because maybe I'll have gotten a lot of my feelings and emotions out before I make my videos. So anyway, have a good one, everybody, and I'll look forward to talking to you again later. Bye.